Let's get started with the analytical functions. Okay, so the analytical functions calculate an aggregate value based on a group of rows and return the multiple rows or all rows from each group. Okay, so meaning, so aggregate functions in చేసాయి మనకి for every group it returns only one value, right? So now I can EMP, so it is your table. Now, if you want to use the aggregate functions, so now I need to find out like a department-wise maximum salary. So how many employees we have in the each group. So if you want to do, so you are making the group wise. If you want to find out like a count star, so this is the group function. Okay, so the group is entire employees is the one group. So దీనికి మీరు ఏమి group by class ఇలాంటివి ఏమి యూజ్ చేయని అవసరం లేదు. Okay, so if you want to make it as a department wise group, so that you need to mention in the group by class. Now if you see, you are trying to make the group by department wise the group of employees count, right? Now, so if you want to make that, we need to use the group by class DEPT number. See, not a single group or group function. So what are the things you are mentioning here that you need to mention in the group by class? Now you are getting like for every group, you are getting one value, one aggregated value, right? So now if you want to see, so if you want to see the along with that, so each department wise, how many employees we have, that you need to see. This is the, now we have this aggregated value department wise, you are getting the count, right? So my client is asking like, let's start from EMP, right? We have this employee information. I need to display entire employee information. So if it is the 10th department, I need to show the aggregated value as 3. Okay, the count of employees 3. Or if you want to see the aggregated value as a sum of salary, so I need to sum these 3 employee salaries and I need to display the details. Okay. So, okay. So now we have this employee information. Okay. So now we have this employee information. Now I need to display the aggregated values. So department wise, so how many employees we have. So that I need to display entire employee information, that particular group and aggregated value along with aggregated value. See, the definition is, so Oracle analytical functions calculate an aggregated value, okay, based on group of rows and return the multiple or all rows for each group. Okay, so calculated an aggregated value. So aggregated value ni display cheyali along with the entire rows from that particular group. Okay. Now see, if I want to use this count function, now I need to display all the employee information, right? So EMP dot star. Now I'm able to get the data. So now I'm trying to use the count function, count star. Now you are getting the error, not a single group, not a single or group function. Okay, ఇది group function కాదు అని error వస్తుంది, right? Now, if you want to overcome this issue, okay, so try to use over. Okay, so if we use the over function, we use the over function. So that simply you will get the count of employee information. See, count of employees same వస్తుంది. If I use simply over function, the aggregate function is going to convert as a analytical function. So a count star అనే function గాని sum గాని average minimum maximum all aggregate functions will act like as a analytical functions as well. If you simply mention the over class, okay, over class and మీరు మెన్షన్ చేస్తే అది analytical function లాగా ట్రీట్ చేస్తారు సిస్టమ్. Now see, you are getting like a department wise, you are not getting the department wise number of employees. So you are getting the employee information, whole employees, how many employees we have. Total 14 employees we have. So this function is treating like as a 14, all the group of employees is one group. Okay, that's the reason you are getting like a 14 employees. Okay. Now if you see, we are mentioning if so, the thing is, if you haven't mentioned the group by class, so the system is going to treat like as a 14 employees as a one group. So if you want to make it as a subgroups, you are using the group by class here, right? So if you want to do the same way in the Oracle, you want to do the same in the analytical functions. Okay. So we need to use partition class, partition partition by department number. Now see, the results is going to change. So make it as a number of employees. Okay, now I provided alias name. So this is the alias name. It's not the actual name of the table. It's a alias name. It's a temporary name for that particular query itself. Okay, now see. So now we are in 10th department. Count the number of employees. 3. It is displaying. 20th. We have 5 employees. It is displaying like aggregated value. 36 employees. Okay, if you see the same thing, you can use like a sum of salary or max of salary. Anything. Okay, now I'm using like a sum of salary. Check this. Do the sum calculation. 5,000. Okay, 7,450 and 7,750 plus 8,750. Okay, so you can check these things or you can calculate them manually and verify it if you want to verify. Okay, so if you want to make it as any aggregated function with as an analytical function, simply you can use the overall class. Okay, if you want to like department wise you require or job wise how many employees we have. So if you want to make it as a groups in the part, so in the analytical functions, we need to use the partition by class. Okay, so partition by class. So this is the aggregate functions and as a analytical functions. So we can see, okay, we can see another thing in this. So the sum function is going to calculate the number of, so sum of the total salary, right? Sum of the total employees salary. Right. So my client is asking to get like that. So if first employee is joined in organization, so how much we are making the payment? Okay, 2450. So if client second employee is joined, so you are going to make the payment as 5,000. So the client is need to know, so what is our total budget is like, so వాడి దగ్గర ఉన్న limit ఎంత ఉంది? So if we use sum of salary, how much it is? So 29,000, right? So I have total budget, so 30,000 rupees. So I need to recruit the people with this amount of. Okay. అంటే నా దగ్గర ఉన్న కెపాసిటీ 30,000 ఉంది. So if you want to recruit like more people, so I cannot able to pay the amount that particular persons. సో అందు గురించి ఏం చేస్తారంటే, సో జాయిన్ అయిన ప్రతి ఎంప్లాయీకి సో ప్రీవియస్ ఎంప్లాయీస్కి ఎంత పే చేస్తున్నాము, కరెంట్ ఎంప్లాయీస్కి ఎంత పే చేస్తున్నామని క్యుములేటివ్ సమ్ తీసుకుంటూ, సో మీరు ఎంత పే చేస్తున్నాము, సో ఇఫ్ యూ సీ యువర్ సాలరీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ క్యుములేటివ్ సమ్. So cumulative sum ante, so you are in the first employee, so that salary will be same. Okay, if you are in the second position, that you need to be, so sum of these two. Okay, then if you are in the third employee position, so take the first two employees sum and make it as a this. Okay, so you need to use like sum of, okay, sum of. So you can check like this. You need to use the function like this. It's not. Okay. So if you want to make it like this, you need to use this function like that. Okay. So this is called like a cumulative sum. We need to perform like this. So if you want to get the cumulative sums, so if you are in like a 10th position, a 10th employee, so you need to count the sum of the salary of the 9 employees along with your salary, and you need to display that as a cumulative sum. See, ఇక్కడ చెక్ చేసుకుంటే యు ఆర్ ఇన్ ద ఫస్ట్ పొజిషన్. సో యువర్ సాలరీ అంటే నీకు ఎంత పే చేస్తున్నారు అదే క్యుములేటివ్ సమ్. సో ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ఇన్ ది సెకండ్ ఎంప్లాయీ దట్ యూ నీడ్ టు ప్రీవియస్ ఎంప్లాయీ నీకు ముందు జాయిన్ అయిన ఎంప్లాయీస్ ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో సో వాళ్ళ యొక్క క్యుములేటివ్ సమ్ మీ సాలరీ రెండు క్లబ్ చేసి ఎంత వస్తుందో అది క్యుములేటివ్ సమ్ అవుతుంది. Okay, so if you want to do this operation as a simple in the Oracle, so now see in the Excel, if you want to make this, so you need to perform like one by one. It is a very complexity here, right? Simply in the analytical function, you are using like a sum of salary over partition by, okay, department number. Department wise, you are trying to make the cumulative sum. Now so ante if you don't want to get the cumulative sum by department wise, so if you want to make it as an entire employees, simply use order by, okay, so order by DPT number, okay, no need the DPT number, right? So order by simply employee number. So join an employee number. If you are joined as an employee in the first day, I'm going to make the employee number as a 1. So if you joined as a second position, I'm making to, so next employee number I'm going to generate the sequence number. అంటే ఎవరు ఫస్ట్ జాయిన్ అయినారో వాడి యొక్క ఎంప్లాయీ అనేది ఫస్ట్ ఉంటుంది. సో యూ ట్రై టు యూస్ అసెండింగ్ ఆర్డర్. ఓకే, సో అసెండింగ్ అంటే ఎవరు ఫస్ట్ జాయిన్ అయినారో సో వాడి యొక్క సాలరీ, వాడి యొక్క ఎంప్లాయీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అనేది స్టార్టింగ్ ఆఫ్ ది పొజిషన్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, సి ఇక్కడ ఏం జరుగుతుంది, క్యుములేటివ్ సమ్ తీసుకుంటే సో 800. సో మీ ఫస్ట్ ఎంప్లాయీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ వాడి యొక్క సాలరీ 800. Now if you see the second employee, so 800 plus 1600, 2400. So now if you see the third position, so it is clubbing the like what are the employees with the previous employees nunchi me employee information variki club cheskuntu it is going to provide the cumulative sum here. You need to change the employee cumulative salary. Okay, so this is called like a cumulative, how to get the cumulative sum. Okay, so definitely you may get the interview question like how to get the cumulative sum from each employee information. So now the client may ask a different way like, so I need to get the cumulative sum on each department. So I don't want to so get all the employees as a one group. So I need to make it as a subgroups like a partition by DPT number we need to use. Now see the employee information is going to change. So the cumulative is getting for that particular group. 8750 is the one group. So the other things is going to separated here. Okay, any doubt in this? So cumulative, simply if we use over class, that is making as an analytical function. So if you want to get the cumulative sum, try to use order by class. So మీరు order by ఏ కాలమ్ ని యూజ్ చేస్తారో ఆ ఆర్డర్ లోని the function is going to calculate the cumulative. So 7782 is the first employee here. So ఇది వరకు ఏంటి? So if you don't have the partition by 7369 is the first employee for us. Okay, so the order by class is very, very important here. So the key role is going to play with the order by class. Okay, so this is the, so you can use anything like a max of salary, minimum salary. So if you want to get like a max of salary, so no need to use any order by class here. Okay, so no need to use any order by class here. So if we use the order by class, so see, if we use the order by class, you are not getting the accurate results here. Okay, so now if we use max of salary, you will get 5,000. If you use like partition by 5,000, 3,000, 29750 something you will get. Okay. So maximum value అన్నప్పుడు the group of record లో నుంచి ఎవరో ఒకరే ఉంటారు maximum employee information. So for that you no need to use any order by class. Okay. So the minimum, average, anything, everything will same. Min function, max function, min, average, every function, all aggregate functions will act like as a analytical functions. Okay. So now we'll see about the other additional functions in the analytical. So we are able to see like aggregate functions are acting like as analytical. Now, is there any additional functions in the analytical functions? So other than the aggregate functions, we'll use the rank is the analytical function. So the rank function calculate the rank of values in the set of values. So treat like I say, this is your. Okay, so now I'm trying to provide the ranks. Now I'm trying to provide the ranks by salary wise. I am going to make the ranks. See, now I'm going to sort the data. Okay, so now I'm going to provide the ranks here. So who is getting the least salary? I'm going to provide the as a 1. Okay, 2, 3. Now if I want to provide the rank for these two employees is having the same rank. So same marks or salary, same salary. Now I need to provide the rank for this. So here what's happening here? So the Oracle is providing like a 4, 4. Okay. So now if I am trying to provide the rank for the 1300, the system is the rank function is providing the value like a 6. Because you have some duplicate values in this. The duplicate values, how many duplicate values, that ranks is going to change here. So that ranks is going to miss here. Okay. So ఎక్కడ మీకు కామన్ వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయో, సో ఎన్ని కామన్ వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయో అన్ని ర్యాంక్స్ మీరు మిస్ అవుతున్నారు అన్నమాట ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, సో ద ర్యాంక్ ఫంక్షన్ ఈస్ వర్కింగ్ లైక్ దిస్. నౌ 6, 7, 8, 9, 7. Now see, now again we are getting like we are in like a 12. 12. Now see, we need to get the 13 here, but the Oracle is going to make it as a 14 if I use the rank function. Okay, so here we have some discrepancies in the rank. So you are going to miss some consecutive ranks. So వరుస క్రమంలో మీరు ranks అనేటివి మిస్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది ఇక్కడ. Okay, so Oracle has introduced the first as a rank function. So this rank function having some flaws. To overcome that flaws, Oracle has introduced again density rank function. Density rank is the function. The density rank function will do the same similar functionality, do the same thing. So that is also providing the ranks for every employee. Okay. Now see, the Oracle is providing the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Now you will get the 5 here. So you are not missing any consecutive ranks. Because to overcome that problem, Oracle has introduced this function. Now we'll get 7, 8. Okay, so see, this is the functions. So these two functions are similar. Okay, but so you are going to miss some consecutive ranks if how the common values are duplicate values in the set of values. Okay, so see, the rank function calculate the rank values in a set of values. సో సెట్ ఆఫ్ వాల్యూస్ అంటే మనం కాలం మీద మనం ర్యాంక్స్ ని డిజైన్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో ఆ కాలంలో ఎన్ని వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయో ఆ కాలమ్స్ ని బేస్ చేసుకొని అది వర్క్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో we'll see some examples as well in the, so the same what are the things we are seeing here, right? So we are going to see. Okay, simply use rank function. Okay, rank here. The thing is main the key role is here order by class. Okay, order by salary ascending or descending. So మీరు లో నుంచి హైకి ఇవ్వాలి అనుకున్నప్పుడు you need to mention ascending. Okay, so if you want to make it as a high, okay, descending. Okay, so if you haven't mentioned anything, so order by salary. Okay, so now the oracle will acting like as a order by class is acting like as a ascending order. Okay, so now see RNK. So just I'm providing alias name. Now see what are the things I have mentioned. In the same way, you can compare. Compare. It's a rank function, right? So you can compare in a different way. See. Or you can check the things. Okay, so this equal to this, then you will get the true. So whatever the provided manually మనం ప్రొవైడ్ చేసిన వాల్యూస్ అన్ని మ్యాచ్ అవుతున్నాయా లేదా చెక్ చేస్తాం. So all are getting match with this. Our results with system results is getting match. Okay, so now I'm going to delete few columns. Okay, now I'm going to make it as a density rank. Now I am trying to change as a density rank instead of rank, density rank. Now see, now the ranks is started with 1. Now maximum rank is 12. Copy this and paste it in this place. Check 11, 11. So 4, 4 and 5. Here also same. Okay. So now here we are getting the same. So if you want to get the entire employees as one group, we no need to use any partition class. So if you want to make it as a subgroups, we need to use the partition by class. So now the rank I need to provide on each department. Okay, so now I need to provide there. So who is getting the highest salary, that I need to find out. Okay, so I need to retrieve the who is getting the maximum salary on each department, or so who is getting like a maximum pay of every group. So ఎవరికైతే maximum pay చేస్తున్నారు employee, that information I need to display here. Okay, so the client may ask in the different ways. See the interview question. So it's a very important. Okay, so the interview question will ask like how to display the maximum salary employee information. So how to no thing is like how to get the how to display to find out second highest salary employee information. each group. Okay, so the client is asking like, so how to find out the maximum salary on each group. So how to find out the second highest salary. So who is getting the second highest salary on your entire organization? Okay, so on each group. Okay, on each group is the another thing. Okay, how to get the second highest salary employee info. Okay, ante second employee, second highest salary entire group lo nunchi everiki pay chestunaru. So that I need to display this. Okay, now simply use like a rank function or density rank function. If you use the rank function, so you are going to miss in case if you are expecting the second highest salary. Okay, so the first employee is having like a so highest salary అనేది 5,000 అనేది 2 times ఉందనుకో. So the rank function is going to skip the second rank, right? There is some flaws in this. So for that reason, we want to use this rank function. Okay, so we'll go with the density rank. So if you want the highest salary, you can go with either way. So highest కావాలన్నప్పుడు if so the function will provide like a 5,000 for 111. So you will get the correct value. So if you want to get the second highest salary or third highest salary, so in case there is a chance to get the duplicate values, okay, in that situation, the Oracle is going to miss the second rank or third rank if you have the duplicates, right? So now see, we'll use the density rank order by salary descending, order by salary descending. Now see here, if I use the rank function first, we'll use the rank function here. So now I'm using the rank function. Okay. Now see, in this case, we are providing the ranks 5,000 as a 1, 3,000, 2, 2. And see here the third rank. So if you want to get the now as a third rank, so there is no third rank value here because the previous values are the duplicates. Okay. So now if you want to get the third highest salary, so you are going to miss the third highest salary values. Okay. Now so now if you want to filter this data, so now I am looking for the third highest salary. Select start from. Okay. So now I'm making as a inline view this query. So what are the things we are mentioning here in this query? That result is acting like as a table now. So this is called like an inline view. So I already discussed about this. Okay. So if you are passing any select query in the from class instead of table name, that act like as a inline view. Okay. Now mention like now you can use like a RNK equal to 3. So now you are not getting any results because this having the duplicates. Now to overcome this, we'll go with the density rank. See now Jones is the employee, is getting the third highest salary. So now actually we are looking for the second highest salary. So if you are looking for anything, if you are looking for the second highest salary or nth highest salary as well. So nth in the sense, మీరు ఏదైతే value mention చేస్తారో, for that value, you are going to get the results. So now if you mention like a 10, so you will get the 10th employee information, 1250, 1250. Okay. So this is called like how to get the maximum employee. So who is getting the maximum pay? So who is getting the second highest salary information? Okay. So if you don't have these analytical functions, you cannot able to achieve with this with simple. Okay. You need to this function, same functionality we can able to achieve with the aggregate functions as well. Now see, now if you want to get this highest employee information, So now see, so if you want to max of salary from EMP 5,000, right? Now if I want to get the second highest salary, so మనం ఏంటి maximum salary అంటే highest employee. So this is called like a second, so first highest salary. First high salary. Okay. So then we return some queries like a select star from EMP, right? This is your whole employee information. Exclude this first highest salary information in this list. So where salary not in. Okay, salary not in. Now see, you are going to exclude the first highest salary information. So ఎవరైతే ఫస్ట్ ఉన్నారో ఫస్ట్ ఎంప్లాయీ డ్రాప్ అయినారు అనుకో. So first ranker drop అయినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, second ranker is the first ranker, right? Now see here we are getting like a 13 employees here. So least info is 800, highest info is 3,000. Okay, so now see in this. So what is the maximum salary? Now try to look for the maximum value. Try to look for the maximum value, max of salary. Now see, you are getting like as a 3,000 is the maximum salary. Second rank is making as a first rank now. Okay, so now if you want to get the second rank, it's fine. Okay, you can able to achieve it simple as a subquery. Okay, so now if you want to get the 10th highest salary. Okay, if you want to get the second or third highest salary, something like. Okay, so now see, if you want to get the third highest salary, it's a very complex now. It's a very complex now. Now see, select start from EMP where salary not in. So here మీరు not in చేస్తున్నారు. So who is getting the second highest salary that you are going to exclude. Okay, so because the second highest salary 3,000 is having the 2 employees. So that's the reason it excluded the 2 employees. Now we have the highest salary information, first highest salary, that you need to exclude. Okay, so now you need to exclude that as well. So try to use union. So first try to use the union. So why we are going to use the union? So now we need to exclude the salaries like this, right? So I'm going to show you salary not in 5,000, 3,000. You need to mention, right? So now we are getting like a first highest salary and second highest salary you are excluded. Now if you try to find the max of salary, you will get the third highest salary information. So 2,950. So if you want to exclude like you are looking for the third highest salary or fourth highest salary, you need to exclude that results, right? So if you want to make it this as a query, so now you need to use. Now we have the second highest salary value. Now we have the first salary as well. Okay, so now I am trying to use like this. Okay, so now we are getting the first highest salary info. Here you are getting like a second highest salary info. Second highest salary, right? We have 2 individual queries. So to make it as a one individual query. So if you want to club these 2 queries as a one query, so we need to use union as a set operators. Set operators will acting like as a, it is used to club the 2 results as a one results. Now see the 2 results as acting like as a one. 2850. So this. So use these queries. Use these queries in the subqueries. So now, so what are the things we are mentioning in the downside? Okay. This is not the query, right? This is not the query. One second. So you are excluding this query like this. The same query I am copying. Okay. Now I am trying to use this query. In this, you are going to get the. So మీరేంటి highest salary exclude చేసిన తర్వాత ఏదైతే query వస్తుందో try to use that query. This is your two queries. So 3000 and 5000 you are going to pass as a parameters to the this main query. This is like a main query. This is your subqueries. Inside whatever the query you are using, this is like a nested queries or subqueries. Okay. So try to use this as an input to the particular query. Now see, you are getting like a things. So you don't have the 3000 and 5000 employee information. Now you can find out the max salary. So sometimes the interviewers may ask the questions like, if you don't have the analytical functions, how can you achieve with that? Now we are able to find out the 2950 is the second highest salary, so third highest salary, right? Now if you want to display this employee information, so here we are displaying the employee information. So along with the highest value. So who is getting the maximum salary, that you are going to display entire employee information. So now here, if you want to display the employee information, so if you mention like a employee number, so e-name, you will get the error again. Not a single group or group function, right? You are getting the error, right? So for that reason, so find out the what the salary value you are looking for. Okay, 29750, and take the data like this. Select start from EMP. So where salary in, where salary in. And now this is called like a subquery. This is called like a subquery. So now see 7566 Jones. You can check here. You can check in this as well. Third highest salary, so Jones. Okay, so see here. So if you don't have the analytical function, see, to achieve it a simple requirement, you are going to write how much big query here. So the subqueries is going to make the key roles. The subqueries, see here how many queries you written here. So if you sort this query, then you can simply understand. So use like a control F7. So or format the code format. Okay, format this code. So see, the query is going to change like this. It's not the beauty of the code. I change it. Okay, so now see here, this function is working like this. Okay, so this is the inside the query. So inside the query is having another subquery. Okay, so this subquery is called like as a inner subquery, innermost subquery. So subquery local you written like another subquery. Okay, so it's a very difficult to write these queries. So to overcome this, we'll use the analytical functions. Okay, so we need to write this analytical function, sorry, aggregate functions as a subqueries. So you need to keep in mind like how to write the subqueries. So in which places we need to write the subqueries. Okay, if you don't have the analytical function here, in this case, definitely you need to go with this subqueries one. You don't have any other option. Okay, so now see, so if you want to get like a subqueries here, so now we have other functions, we can complete this and we'll see about the subqueries. Okay, now we see about the rank and density rank. So the difference is, so difference between rank and density rank. Okay, the rank function is going to miss some consecutive ranks. So if we have the duplicates, so but the density rank, it is not going to miss any ranks. Okay, now row number. Row number is also provide the ranks. Okay, row number is also provide the ranks, but the thing is it assign a unique sequential integer. So starting from 1 to each row in a partition or in whole results. Ante so e rank function ఎలా వర్క్ చేస్తుంది? If you have the duplicates, so it is providing the same rank and it is going to skip some consecutive ranks. But so now see, if I use the row number, okay, if I use the row number, so I'm going to delete some column values. Need these all columns. Okay, now we use this rank and density rank. Now the row number. So we have row number and the row ID. So if you use if you see, select star from EMP, right? We have like a 14 employees, 14 employee information. If I use row number, so RowNum. So now it is, see here, it is displaying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like till 14. So the thing is, if I see here, employee number, employee name. So we have like for all the columns, you can mention all the columns as well. Now the thing is, so who is in the first position? If we use like select star from EMP. Okay, who is in the first position? 7369. Who is in the last? 7934, right? Now see, the first position employee is getting as a 1. The last position employee is getting like as a 14. Okay, the RowNum function, RowNum is the pseudo column. So pseudo column ante virtual column annattu. So adi, it's not the actual table of the column. So actual table of the column ante, now we see how this table is having like a select star from employee number, employee name. So we have like 8 columns here. You can mention either of these column, right? Now see, if I mention like a employee number, you are getting that, right? Now mention like a gender, you are getting the results. Now I'm trying to make it as a group like a department ID. Department ID. Now see here, it is giving the error, department ID invalid identifier. So మీరు టేబుల్లో ఉన్న కాలం కాకుండా వేరే ఏ కాలం అయినా నువ్వు మెన్షన్ చేసినప్పుడు యు ఆర్ గెటింగ్ లైక్ అ ఎర్రర్. See, there is no department ID column here. You have like a DEPT number column. You don't have any department ID column, right? Now see here, you are getting the error, department ID invalid identifier. Ante, so this column is not present in your column list of the table. So మీరు ఆ కాలం, ఆ టేబుల్లో ఉన్న కాలం లిస్ట్ లో ఆ కాలం అనేది మీకు లేదు. ఇన్వాలిడ్ ఐడెంటిఫైర్ అంటే అది లేదు అని చెప్పి. ఓకే, నౌ Now see here, instead of this department ID, so I don't have other columns here, RowNum. Now see, I'm not getting any error here. I'm not getting any error here. Okay. So now I'm trying to use another column as a row ID. This is also not getting any error. So row ID. Okay. So now here row ID is also not the part of the table columns. Here row ID value is also getting here. Okay. So these are the two pseudo columns or virtual column. Pseudo columns is not the actual table of the columns, but it acting like I say actual table of the columns. Okay. So these two are the pseudo columns. It acting like as a actual column of the table, but it's not the actual column of the table. Okay, it's a virtual columns. Okay, that here you need to see the difference. Okay, so see the questions like the interview questions. What is row ID? What is row ID? What is RowNum? Difference between row ID and the row number. So what is row ID? What is row number? What difference between the row ID and row number? Okay, so see here, the row ID and row number both are the pseudo columns. Row ID and row number are both are the pseudo columns. Okay, so now see, if you want to make it as a see, so select the data. Okay, so for every row, it is displaying one sequential number for every employee. So the row number is going to make the sequence number for every employee. Okay, so now see the differences here. So row number is going to provide the sequential number for every row. Okay, so who is inserted the so who is the inserted the first record? So who is like that? So ఏదైతే ఫస్ట్ మనం ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసామో which record we inserted as a first record, that is going to get the value as a 1. So who is in the last record? So that we are going to get as a last number of the employees, right? So it's providing sequential number for every row. Okay, so the sequential number. So the same thing, row ID. Row ID is the address ID for every employee. Okay, so మీరు ఒక రికార్డ్ టేబుల్ లో ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు, so the record information is going to store in the database. Okay, so the database is having some address ID. So if you are in the some home, so that is your address ID. So wherever you are staying, that is your address ID. That home is having some address ID. The government is provided some address ID. That is called your address ID. So the same way, wherever you are staying or wherever you are storing this information as a record in the database, that is having some address ID. That is called as a row ID. So whatever the record you are inserting, that is going to store in some place. The place is having some physical address. Okay, so that we can call it as a row ID. Okay, So row number is used to provide the sequential number for every row. Okay, so the row ID, so never change. Row ID never change. So if you are staying in some X house, X123 is a house number. So you are in tenant for this year. So maybe next 2 years, so it's the other person is going to join in this house. The address ID is not going to change here. So ఒక హౌస్ కానీ ఒక ప్లేస్ కి ఏదైనా కానీ ఒక అడ్రస్ ఐడి జనరేట్ అయితే ఆ అడ్రస్ ఐడి నెవర్ చేంజ్. ఓకే, సో హియర్ ఇట్ నాట్ లైక్ యాజ్ ఏ హౌస్ అడ్రస్. సో మీరు హౌస్ లో వేరే మెంబర్ జాయిన్ అయినప్పుడు హౌస్ అడ్రస్ అలానే ఉంటుంది. సో ద థింగ్ ఈస్ ది అడ్రస్ ఐడి ఈస్ లుక్ లైక్ యాజ్ ఏ ఆధార్ నెంబర్ ఫర్ ది హ్యూమన్స్. సో ద గవర్నమెంట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు మేక్ ఆధార్ నెంబర్ ఫర్ యూ. ద ఆధార్ నెంబర్ వోంట్ బి చేంజ్. సో మీరు ఆధార్ నెంబర్ ఎక్కడున్నా కూడా, సో ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ అలైవ్ ఆర్ డై, సో ఎనీథింగ్, సో ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ ఆల్సో, the Aadhaar number won't be changed. So I am not going to provide this Aadhaar number with any other person. So Aadhaar number acting like as an Aadhaar number for you, the same way a row ID is the Aadhaar of the record. Okay, now see, we are going to delete some data here. Okay, now I'm pinning this output here, right? So now I'm going to delete like a 7782 is the employee information from who is select star from EMP, where EMP number equals to 7782. So I'm going to delete Clark as this, right? Now I'm deleting this data. See, you can observe the things later. 7792 has been deleted. Now run this query. Now run this query. So I'll run this query. If you want to see the differences, you need to use the commit as well. Okay, new document group and compare the results here. Now, so we pin this output before deleting this. We have 14 employees. Now we have see here. So 7369 is having row number is the 1. Okay, so wherever we are in like a 7782 is having the row number as a 7. Now see here, whatever the 8th record is having here. So 8th record is becoming like a 7th record in this close. So 8th place low. So Nick previous employee. So you are the first ranker. The first ranker is not present. The second ranker is going to make as a first ranker. So Allah row number row number is adjusting with the previous values with the current value. So మీరు ఏదైతే value ని delete చేశారో, so next value is becoming like as a current value for you. So the row number is going to change here. Okay, so but row ID, if you observe the row ID here, 7782. Okay, so what's the value? So previous value 7698 AAF is the row ID ending with the AAF, right? Now see here 7698 AAF. So another value AAG, you need to be AAG. So now see here in the oldest value we have AAG for 7782, but there is no value 7782 here. Okay, the value row ID is also not present here. So row ID, so like Aadhaar numbers, if you are alive, so your Aadhaar number will reserve for you. Okay, if you are not there. Okay, so the Aadhaar number is already reserved for you, but you are not available in the Anartha or something like you expired something. Okay, so the Aadhaar number I am not going to change or I am not going to provide with any other person. Okay, so this is the difference between row number and row ID. So row number is going to provide the sequential number for every row. Okay. So row ID is going to change. So row ID won't change. So row ID is the physical address of the record, where the record is stored in the database. So ఆ రికార్డ్ మీకు ఎక్కడ స్టోర్ అయిందో ఆ అడ్రస్ ఐడి అనేది మీకు చెప్తుంది. Okay. So now here row ID is a hexadecimal number. So hexadecimal number అంటే 18 digits ఉంటాయి. Here select use length function. Hexa 10 decimal 8 10 plus 8 18. So here ఎన్నైనా ఉండొచ్చు. It's a sequential number. It's a number data type. So it's a character. So what we can say? So character data type or varchar data type. Okay. So row ID is a hexadecimal number. Row ID never change, but row num is going to change if the data is having any changes. సో మీకు డేటా ఏదైనా చేంజ్ అయినప్పుడు RowNum అనేది చేంజ్ అయ్యే అవకాశం అయితే కనిపిస్తుంది. ఓకే. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ది అనదర్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ క్వశ్చన్. సో డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ row ID and row number. Okay. Now we see the RowNum. Now we see RowNum. So we have analytical function row number. Okay. So row number. So now see, I'm going to collapse this. And I'm trying to use the row number. Row underscore number is the analytical function. Okay, so over. See here in order by class. So row number function is must expect the order by class. So order by class అనేది ఈ row number గానీ rank density rank without order by class you cannot able to use this. See here missing order by expression in this window specification. So ఈ రో నెంబర్ ఫంక్షన్ కంపల్సరీ ఏం చేయాలి? ఇట్ నీడ్ టు ప్రొవైడ్ సమ్ ranks or sequential number for every row. Okay, so now see, I'm going to make the rank like order by EMP number. Order by EMP number. See, there is no difference. So if I use like a order by as a employee number, right? Now if I use the salary, now I'm making the salary wise row numbers. So now see, the row numbers has changed. So this RowNum function, the RowNum is a pseudocall. It is going to fix the values. So first value మీది ఏదైతే ఉందో అదే ర్యాంక్ చూపిస్తుంది. So you are in like 8th position. So the 8th position is reserved for you entire program. అర్థమవుతుందా? So కానీ you can able to provide your own rank values. So by using this row number function, the row number function is going to provide the row number, assigns any q sequential integer starting from 1 to each row in a partition or whole results. You can provide your own results. You can provide your own rank values or row number values. Okay. So this is the difference of the row num and the row number between. Okay. So you may get the interview question like a difference between row number, rank and density rank. Okay. So now see, if I use like order by EMP number, okay, you are getting the same rank values. Now if I use the salary in descending order, so in ascending order only we provided, right? So now see, in this case, we don't need this row ID and row num as well. Now we are looking for the, okay. So now see, in this case, 800 is getting the 1. Okay. So see in this 1250. 1250 is having like a for 2 employees, but you are getting the 2 different ranks here. So first employee is getting like 4 and second employee is getting 5. If you go to the 3000, in this also you are getting like 2 different rank values for the same amount of the salary. So for that reason, we want to use this function. So if you want to get the, so if highest value information, highest row, ante, so if we use the rank and density rank function, so highest salary employees, if you have 5 employees in one group, so 5,000 is the highest employee in this salary, right? So in the employee entire 14 employees. So one employee is having 5,000. Treat like as a 5,000 is getting for 5 members. If I use like where R and K equal to 1, or D rank equal to 1, ante rank equal to density rank equal to 1 అని యూజ్ చేసాం అనుకో ఏం జరుగుతుంది? Now we will get the highest value for 5 times. 5 employees information వస్తుంది. But I am not looking for the 5 employees information. I am looking for only 1 employees. So ఇప్పుడు ఒక పేషెంట్ కానీ ఏదైనా ఒక ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి. సో మీరు so the same day you deposited like a multiple deposits in a day. So like 10 deposits you perform. సో ఆ 10 డిపాజిట్స్ పర్ఫామ్ చేసినప్పుడు మీరు లేటెస్ట్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ యొక్క ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ తీసుకోమన్నారు. ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ది డేట్, సో ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ది టైమ్, సో యూ హ్యావ్ ఓన్లీ డేట్, ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ డేట్, నాట్ విత్ ద టైమ్స్ అండ్ సో హవర్స్ అండ్ మినిట్స్, యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ దట్ ఆప్షన్. మీరు క్యాప్చర్ చేయలేదు. సో నౌ ఐ నీడ్ టు గెట్ దట్ లేటెస్ట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. సో లేటెస్ట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ తీసుకోవాలంటే కంపల్సరీ ఇఫ్ యూ యూస్ ర్యాంక్ ఆర్ డెన్సీ ర్యాంక్ ఫంక్షన్, you will get all 10 transaction details. Okay, but I am not looking for the all 10 transactions. I am looking for only one transaction. In this case, a row number function will work here. Okay, row number function will work here. So if you see in this case, like if we use like a, so 11th rank position kavali, so the 3000 employees ki 11th 12 unnai. So 11th rank position kavalannappudu, so try to use this. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో మల్టిపుల్ వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నప్పుడు మల్టిపుల్ వాల్యూస్ లో నుంచి ఒకటే వాల్యూ నీకు అవసరం పడుతుంది. అలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్స్ విల్ గో విత్ రో నంబర్ ఫంక్షన్. సో ర్యాంక్ డెన్సిటీ ర్యాంక్ ఇక్కడ ఉపయోగపడవు కంపల్సరీ, రో నంబర్ ఫంక్షన్ ఉపయోగపడదు. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ లైక్ సో ర్యాంక్ అండ్ డెన్సిటీ ర్యాంక్ అండ్ దిస్, రైట్? విల్ సీ అబౌట్ ది ఫస్ట్ వాల్యూ. First value, get the value of the first row in specified window frame or column. So మీరు first values, if you use the select star from EMP, so what is the first value of so he's getting like a salary 800 is the first salary. So if I use the first value EMP dot star first underscore value of first value of salary, okay, over. So order by, if you mention like a order by, if you haven't mentioned this order by, see, we'll get the what are the first value in the group 800. If you mention like a department number, so the department number is having the first value as a 20. Okay, so if you want to get the order by salary descent, okay, see, you are getting like a ఆర్డర్ బై సాలరీ డిసెండింగ్ చేసినప్పుడు 5000 అనేది మీకు హైయెస్ట్ సాలరీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, వాడి యొక్క డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నెంబర్ ఏంటి అది యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ దట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. ద ఫస్ట్ వాల్యూ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ ది ఫస్ట్ రికార్డ్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ది గివెన్ కాలమ్. సో మీరు ఏది మెన్షన్ చేయకపోతే ఫస్ట్ రికార్డ్ వాల్యూ ఇస్తుంది. సో ఇఫ్ యూ మెన్షన్ ఎనీ ఆర్డర్ బై క్లాస్ ఇన్ ద ఆర్డర్ రెస్పెక్టివ్ ఆర్డర్, సో దట్ యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ ఇన్ ది డిఫరెంట్ వాల్యూస్. మీకు కావాల్సిన విధంగా you will get the different values. The first value function will help you to get the first value or first record value in the given list of values or given column. Okay. Now we don't have any last value here. We don't have any last value, right? We have, sorry, last value. The last value is having some discrepancies. We won't use the last value in the most of places. So now if you see, okay, last value. So if you want to get the last value of the given list, we'll use the last value. First value అనేది first value ని తీసుకోవడానికి యూజ్ చేస్తాం. Okay. So another important thing. So we have lag and lead. Lag and lead. Lag function. Okay. Lag provide access to a row at a given physical offset that comes to, okay, that comes to before the current row with using self join. Okay, so the thing is lag function will lag the previous value to the current value. Okay, so if you see the record here, so what we did here, so I'm going to delete these values. I'm going to delete this. Right, see, so what we perform here, so if you want to get the cumulative sum, what we did, so if you want to do the cumulative sum, so we taken the previous record value plus current record value, right? So previous row లో నుంచి ఒక వాల్యూ, సెకండ్ row లో నుంచి కరెంట్ row లో నుంచి ఒక వాల్యూ తీసుకొని సమ్ చేశాను. So this is called like we are logging the value from the previous record to the current transaction. So if you want to get the previous transaction value to the current value, okay, so if you want to make it like this, now I'm going to delete this as well. Okay, now see, so if you want to get the previous values to the, see here, so now I am lagging the value 800 to the next value. So next record key, so previous record value ni nenu next value ki pass chesanu. Now 1100 is going to the, so fifth record, fourth record lo na 1100 fifth record ki 1250 1250 1300 ki. So it is lagging the value previous transaction value to the current transaction. So you perform like some transaction like 10 o'clock 10:01. So 10:01 is 9:53 now. 9:53 ki oka transaction perform chesam. Now you perform at 10 o'clock as another transaction. So kani to perform the calculation. So enti, so previous transaction edaithe value perform chesnaro, a transaction amount ni I need to lag this value to the previous transaction to the current transaction. Okay, in this situation we'll use the lag function. Okay, and another function is the lead. The lead function will help you to get the next transaction value to the current transaction. So next transaction to the current transaction, meaning, so you won't get the next transaction. So the definition is not like that. So next record యొక్క value ni, so these functions will help you in the analytical function, not in like a, so we have two types of databases: analytical database, OLTP database, online transaction processing database, and online analytical database process. Okay, we Oracle two types of database: OLAP, OLTP. So OLTP అనేది ఆన్లైన్ డేటాబేస్ అన్నమాట. సో మనకి ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ పర్ఫామ్ చేసేది బ్యాంక్ లో కానీ మీరు ఎక్కడైనా పర్ఫామ్ చేసే ఆన్లైన్ లో వాడే ట్రేడింగ్ అప్లికేషన్స్ కావచ్చు, ఏదైనా కావచ్చు. సో ఇది అనలిటికల్ ఓఎల్టీపీ డేటాబేస్. ఆన్లైన్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ప్రాసెసింగ్. ఓకే, ఓఎల్ఏపి డేటాబేస్ అనేది ఉంటుంది. ఓఎల్ఏపి డేటాబేస్ అనేది ఏంటి అంటే, సో ఇట్స్ సపోర్ట్ ది డెసిషన్ సపోర్టివ్ డిఎస్ఎస్ అనేది సపోర్ట్ చేస్తుంది అనమాట. ఓఎల్ఏపి డేటాబేస్ అనేది డెసిషన్ సపోర్టివ్ సిస్టమ్ అనమాట. సో అంటే మీరు ఆన్లైన్లో జరిగిన ప్రతి ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ని ఆఫ్లైన్కి మూవ్ చేసుకొని ఆఫ్లైన్లో డేటాను అనాలిసిస్ చేస్తాం అనమాట. సో ప్రీవియస్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ తీసుకొని ఏదైనా ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం వస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో నెక్స్ట్ డే ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ తీసుకొని ప్రీవియస్ డేట్ తోటి కంపేర్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం వస్తుంది ఒక్కొక్కసారి. ఓకే, అలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్స్లో మనం ఏంటంటే ఆఫ్లైన్లో మీకు ఇప్పుడు కరెంట్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఈ రోజు ఉన్నావు, నెక్స్ట్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ నువ్వు పర్ఫామ్ చేయకుండానే నీకు ఎలా వస్తుంది, నీ దగ్గరికి రాదు కదా. అదే ఆఫ్లైన్ డేటాబేస్ అంటే ఏంటంటే ఆల్రెడీ మీరు పర్ఫామ్ చేసిన ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ ని ఆన్లైన్ నుంచి ఆఫ్లైన్ కి మూవ్ చేసి అక్కడ ఐ కెన్ అనలైజ్ దట్ డేటా ఇన్ ది ఓఎల్ఏపి డేటాబేస్. దెన్ ఐ కెన్ టేక్ ది డెసిషన్స్ ఆన్ దట్ ఓఎల్ఏపి డేటాబేస్. సో నేను అనాలిసిస్ ని చేసుకొని దానిపైన కొన్ని డెసిషన్స్ ని తీసుకుంటాను అనమాట. అందు గురించి దాన్ని డిఎస్ఎస్ సపోర్టివ్ సిస్టమ్ అంటారు. ఓఎల్ఏపి డేటాబేస్ ఇస్ ఏ డెసిషన్ సపోర్టివ్ సిస్టమ్. Okay, see here, so in this situation OLAP, it's a analytical, so the functions is having the name as a analytical functions. Lag and lead is analytical function. These functions will majorly use in the OLAP database. Okay, now see, so if you want to get the next transaction to the current transaction, right? Now 950. So for last record you won't see the data. Okay, because last record does not have the next transactions, right? That's you will get the 0. Okay, so this is the analytical functions. So the same way we can see some examples here. Okay, so now you can use the lag the value, lag of star. If you haven't mentioned anything, you will get the error. Lag function need to get the previous transaction on which base. మీరు దేని బేస్ చేసుకొని తెచ్చుకోవాలి నేను. So use order by employee number. If you use order by employee number, see, so first record does not have any lagging value. So మీకు first record ki, so first record ki previous record ఏం ఉండదు కదా, అదే first record అవుతుంది. So you are getting the null for that. See 1600. So first record, the second record is having the first record. The third record is having the second record. 1600. Okay, so 29750. So is having the previous record value as a 1250. Is getting the 1250. Okay, so you are logging the value in this way. So if you want to get the lead, use the lead function to get the next transaction value to the current transaction. Okay, now see here, previous transaction value. అంటే ఫస్ట్ రికార్డ్ కి ప్రీవియస్ ఉంటుంది, లాస్ట్ రికార్డ్ కి యూ వోంట్ సీ ది లాస్ట్ నెక్స్ట్ వాల్యూ అనేది మనకి. సో లాస్ట్ రికార్డ్ అదే అయినప్పుడు యూ వోంట్ సీ ది నెక్స్ట్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ వాల్యూస్, రైట్? సో దట్ యూ విల్ గెట్ ది null. See 800 ki 1600. So you are getting this. So 1600 ki 1250. You are getting this. This is about the analytical functions here. So in the interview, you will see that questions like, so what is the difference between lag and lead? Difference between rank and density rank. Okay, and row number and row ID. So difference between row number and row ID. Okay, so I'm going to give some more detailed things by tomorrow, this interview questions. Okay, I'm going to share some interview like assignment kind of things in the group. So you can go through with that and get me answers with by tomorrow. Okay, so we're done with functions. So tomorrow we are going to see about the joins. Okay, joins and subqueries as well.